Why are you wasting your time with this idiot? If I'm talking about life, woman is a pillar in life. As now in business, woman is strong pillar in business.
Everybody would think, why would a grown-up man draw with some markers? I'm not 5 years old, you know.
And I committed to myself that nobody on earth will replace me to guard your brain, to guard your thoughts. Don't let garbage get into your brain.
Agree with every word.
Partner with the Alpha. Hello, pleasure. This is one of the few things that I'm doing that I'm super interested to see the outcome. I want to know what is the outcome. Our stop button is broken. We cannot stop.
Stop button is just broken, and that's how we live. My dear, I am so happy to introduce a special guest to you. When I told you that I'm going to be drawing with worldwide famous stars, I never dreamed about being able to present a world famous entrepreneur. And I will have to read actual titles that Mr. Seif has. Just a second. So he is a published author, multinational serial entrepreneur, celebrity podcaster, motivational speaker, international multi-award winner. And that is not it. He also works with world-renowned companies. We will speak more about it. He speaks freely in Russian, even though this interview will be shown in both languages. He does speak Russian very well. And besides that, he also has an award from the President of Russian Federation, President Putin. Seif, this is amazing. Seif El Hakim, all the possible applause.
Nastia, thank you very much for having me today. I'm super excited to have this journey with you. It is from the few times that I see a lot of colors and pens. So my drawing skills we'll see it today. Thank you very much for having me. We'll have an interesting time.
Thank you so much for being here, for agreeing to be here. I know how famous you are in the world and in the Middle East, specifically in the UAE. So I decided to have all the stars in my program, and I would like to introduce the Middle East, and not Middle East only, but also the entrepreneurs who are interested in self-development. I want to introduce a very special method to you. Thank you so much.
All the best, and I'm sure you will gain a lot of traction in our region, and we're gonna do it together. Let's get started.
Let's begin. My dear friends, today we will be drawing with a special method, which is called Neurographics. That would be a very special interview for you. I know that you do a lot of interviews, but today you will be working with your subconscious mind, and we'll be speaking at the same time.
I'm super interested to get into this area because I believe, in general, our subconscious mind has a lot of power on us. So I'm really interested to go through this process with you, and I'm sure our viewers today will really gain a lot of insights. So I'm super excited to start it.
Yes. Our viewers will be able to draw with us together, and if this is your first time watching the show, and if you don't know what Neurographics is, please watch the link in our profile and you will be able to draw with us then. And before that, I would just like to explain what Neurographics is. Neurographics is a method of working with yourself and your subconscious mind thanks to the motor functions of our fingers. We are animals who have fingers, and those fingers have neurons which are connected to our mind. And if we have a goal, we can absolutely reach it with the business and thanks to the motor skills that we have, thanks to the drawing, we can absolutely make that goal happen and reach that goal much faster too. 100 years ago, a very famous psychiatrist, Carl Jung, wrote a book which is called The Man and the Symbols, which shows that symbols are much easier for understand for our subconscious mind. To motivate you, draw Neurographics, because it's very interesting, but not it's very strange for you, I see. Everybody would think, why would a grown-up man draw with some markers? I'm not 5 years old, you know. I used to be an entrepreneur, you know. when I studied neurographics. By then, I was an entrepreneur for 10 years. I had multiple projects, and I was always very interested why, in my niche, some people achieve better results than I do. My results were very small, so I was studying. I studied SMM, social marketing. I hired some marketing people. I changed my business model. I increased my business amount, but still there was like, a limit I couldn't go over. Have you had something like that?
Of course. But like working in this way, it's super interesting. First of all, because I never experienced it in my life and never thought it will really show my direction where I'm going. And that's the interesting part. That's why I want to start and see how things will go. It's pretty interesting for me.
When I had two businesses, and when I was trying to overcome the limits that I had an interview with Sarah Madani recently, by the way, and I think I'm very similar to Sarah in that way. We tried everything. We tried regression, we tried hypnosis, everything. I wanted to understand, where is that limit coming from? Why can some people earn millions of dollars and I am not going there? So I started learning neurographics, and from there I had amazing results that I wanted to show you, so you'll be motivated to draw as well. So my business grew 50 times in a number of years. Also, in 3 years, I gained 50 million subscribers on Instagram, even though I had like 30,000 before. Then I also got a silver button from YouTube, as you know. It grew very quickly. I started drawing with famous people, and I'm approaching international market. Every single star is into neurographics in Russia at the moment. Even the State Duma does that. I'm quite a heavy hitter on the market. I actually had a full event for 4,000 people. Everybody was drawing. So everybody's drawing, literally. It's a mania in Russia. And I really would like to introduce this to the world. I would like you to be aware of this project as well. And I would like to introduce this project to the many people worldwide with your help.
Super interested to see.
As you are my guest today, which topic would you like to draw about? Something measurable, so that you can see the results. As you are an interpreter, you like numbers, a certain amount of money that you want to earn, maybe subscribers that you want to get, attracts more people to your club. I know that you have a club for entrepreneurs. Some number, something measurable, so that you see in a couple of months that, yeah, it happened, wow. Some record that you want to...
One of the main things or goals that I have is with regards to the Alpha movement, the Alpha Global. So I want the Alpha movement to be an international with a subscriber base, the Alpha movement, over 50,000 people in a year time frame.
Amazing. Let's do that. Let's write it down. So take a piece of paper, take a marker, a thin one, and just write down your goal. So we have to write in numbers. Write it, for example, 50,000.
Okay.
And I will write 100 million, as I have been drawing this number for a number of months. It's an amazing number. I don't know how I reach it, but I'm trying to find the way to get there via neurographics. Maybe it will happen in a year or 10 years, but I know it will come true. I know it works via neurographics. Great. So 2 minutes, and in these 2 minutes, we will do free writing. When we write very quickly the words that are associated with this topic. Especially the words that are in your way, something which is a limitation in your work. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's competition, maybe it's some inner tasks or problems. So write them down as fast as you can. By doing so, we awake the neurons in our brain. It's like you go into a psychologist and you tell me, I have a problem, this is the problem. So let's do that.
Ready.
Stop. Wow, that's a lot of words. That's amazing. So let's start drawing and let's chat, because we seem to be done with the preparation. Just as an athlete, can I offer the most effective shape in neurographics?
Of
No
course.
scared? Yeah. So
Of
it will be
course.
difficult. Fully load.
I love that. Let's do that.
We will draw a number of circles which will symbolize the important words out of the list you have. Certain segments. I will just tell you which words I have. For example, I have a word people. So I will draw a circle which will symbolize people, as they are the subscribers that I want. And maybe help from the coaches and gurus. Love. This is why I do this. Because I wanted people to be happy, to have love, to have unity, and maybe 3-5 circles on your paper. Any shape in any direction that you want. I will add one more circle. It means all world. Don't worry if they are not exactly round. It's not a geometry lesson. Don't worry. Perfect.
Can the circles be intersecting or not?
Yes, they can be intersecting, of course, and they can be a different shape, a different size. They can be intersecting, yes. Maybe connecting to each other. You have an amazing composition already. It looks like it's Olympic Games. You're the soul of a champion. Yes. Would you like anything else? Enough. Okay. So now we connect all those circles in a triangle. As I've said, this is the most powerful shape in neurographics. It shows growth and breakthrough. So for you to reach your goal, you need this powerful shape. Seif, you are very creative. The first time I see that a person does this, it's very cool. I'll show you one thing. I don't really know you much. You do not repeat my things. You do your thing. It's a super quality. Everybody else would just do the same, you know, but no, your drawing is very creative, unique. Congratulations. So now let's put the lines here, the neurographic lines. They have to go from one part of the paper to the other. They have to intersect between themselves, and the more lines you have, the better, because these are the thoughts, our subconscious thoughts that go with the topic. A lot of lines, please. Perfect. You're doing so well.
I feel like I'm an artist. And I love this, but I don't know how to draw. I always wanted to be an artist.
You know, the best thing about this technique is that we don't write much lately. You know, it's computers and phones that we have, so we don't use our motor skills much, and our brain is getting old because of that. As an athlete, you must know that. So when we draw, it is actually work for our brains, like you do in the gym.
Exactly, and this is what I love.
We are creating new neuron connections in our brain. We are working with new neuron connections. So we're creating something that our brain didn't have before. If you want to achieve some major goal in your life and you don't know how to do that, when you're drawing this, this is what you do. You create new neuron connections. Amazing. We can start the interview now. So now we will be chatting and doing those circles, the rounding of the intersections. I will be checking every now and then to see that you're doing it right, and we will be chatting. So please, tell me about your childhood. Those people who live in Russia, You are a new champion for us, you know. The girls don't really know you. I'm really interested whether you were born into a wealthy family or not. Or what did you dream about in your childhood, and what did you dream in your life? Yeah. So tell me about it. Great rounding, by the way.
So I was born like in a middle class family in Egypt. Super, like I have one sister. My family is very close. Like I'm a very family oriented person. Family is everything to me. I was born a fan of sports. I loved everything about sports and I wanted to be a sports champion. So I was not the type of person that likes to study, go to the school, but I love challenges. And I don't like somebody tells me that you can't do anything. So I was born in a very close family again. At the very young age, I had my cousin, which is my age. She was similar age, so I used to study with her before going to exams, so she can make me get the grades to pass. And one day, which changed my life, I was studying with her, and my aunt came to us, and she said, and my aunt is my second mother. My aunt came to us and said, "Why are you wasting your time with this idiot?" And this moment absolutely changed my life because from that day, I stopped sports. I stopped everything that I'm doing. And I locked myself in my room and I made myself the best in class. So I became the best in class. I went to the best university, graduated high honors.
Wow, amazing. How much time did it take you for that
I
change?
think a year. On the same year, I graduated top of the class, that this thing happened. And this completely changed my life. So I became, I would say, I'm not gonna say like a nerd, but a person who develops himself on a daily basis. So, and from that moment, my life changed. Means what? I graduated one of the best universities in my country. And then came another challenging moment, which I love to be challenged. I was working in a company, and by coincidence, one of my family friends told me that the company called Samsung is recruiting for a program called Global Leaders. And at that time, I was in my comfort zone. And I never wanted to leave my comfort zone. But I said, let me go and give it a trial. Let me see, will I be accepted or not? So I went to this kind of interview. And I was sitting in this interview. And they were going to select one person from the whole Middle East and North Africa. Just one person will win this. And I remember I was sitting. And because I was working, so I was looking at my time and I asking the lady, when my interview will start because I need to go back to my office. The lady looked at me and said like, Seif, where are you from? So I said, I'm from Egypt. She said, no, don't worry. You can go now. You will not win. Egyptians are lazy.
And that was a challenge.
Exactly. So I said, I will do everything to win, to go. So I won the competition. I didn't want to go to South Korea. I didn't want to work with Samsung, but I won.
That's very funny.
Серьезно. Absolutely серьезно. And I won and I went to South Korea with Samsung. And again, that was a turning point in my life because I never wanted to leave my country. I never wanted to leave my people, my family, my friends. And then I went to Korea. And then I would say very well, I was one of the top performing with Samsung in the headquarters. And the moment came that I have to go back to my country. Like Samsung had to send me back to Egypt. And at that time, I didn't want to go because now I understood the international experience, the culture experience that I'm developing myself. So I remember the HR called me and said like, Seif, come to HR. So I went to HR. He said like, okay, your time in Korea finished. You need to go back to Egypt. And I said, no, I'm not going back to Egypt. All the executives in Samsung want Seif to be in headquarters. So I'm staying in headquarters. I remember this word till now. The guy said, Seif, put your ego down. I can replace you with an empty chair in 2 seconds. And I was like, how on earth you're talking to me like this? And I committed to myself that nobody on earth will replace me and will say, I'll replace you with anything. So this was one of the most important elements that changed my trajectory in my career development, that up to this day, I dedicate 2 hours per day to develop myself in whatever I'm doing. So every day I wake up in the morning, I have 2 hours, I'm becoming a nerd. I study whatever skill, I develop myself in whatever area that nobody can tell me I'm gonna replace you. I'm making my value high. And then the time everything happened well, then I moved to Russia. My lovely place, and I consider it my country because I spent in Russia 10 years. But my time in Russia wasn't that easy because I remember the time that I went to Russia, my first time. So I came to the office, and I remember that as soon as I came, I said like, hello, this is Seif. I'm coming from headquarters. I'm having an MBA from MIT and University in Korea. I remember my boss said like, Seif, go sit in the corner. There is a presentation on the computer. Change the color from red to green. I said like, what?
So you arrived to be working for a company there?
Yeah, I was going to work for Samsung. I was in Samsung office. But because I'm a foreigner, a new person, so they just like, okay, go do something else. It's not needed. I remember that time, and I thought my career is finished. But I took it as a challenge. Like, okay, I need to be the best in Samsung Russia. So what I did, I talked to my boss and I said, okay, let me challenge you. Whatever product line you have that is not doing well, I will take it and I'll make it best in the market. And if I make it, you promote me. The guy at that time didn't believe what I'm saying. So he said, okay, take this product line. If you can make it a hit in the market, you will be promoted. I did everything possible, partnerships, everything that I can to make this product line the best in the market. And I made it the best in the market, and I got promoted. So it was a challenge for me that everything that I want, it has to be, somebody has to tell me something that I can do it, and I will challenge you to do it by saying to myself, just watch me. And I was the only, with this approach, I was the only person in Samsung Group in general that gets promoted every year in Russia and globally until I became the CMO of Samsung Russia. During this period of time,
it's an amazing story.
During this period of time, Sochi Olympics happened in Russia, and I had to perform very well to the level that the Russian president awarded or acknowledged my contribution in Sochi Olympics from a marketing standpoint. So I got awarded by the Russian president.
That's just fantastic.
It's always been a life full of challenges, and the challenges pushes me. You know, Nasty, one interesting thing, 1 year I was not being promoted. So I thought like, oh, I can't have an achievement this year. So what I did, I applied for being Mr. Olympia. So I prepared myself 1 year, and I was top 10 Mr. Olympia just to prove to myself that I can do it. So that's my journey in Russia. I finished Russia, and then I was in corporate life. Corporate life is totally different than being an entrepreneur. And I wanted to start my entrepreneurial journey. So I left Samsung Russia, and I said, okay, I will start my entrepreneurial journey. I remember because I was CMO of Samsung, which means I was a very powerful person. I have all the power, all the influence. I was all over the news with all the celebrities in Russia. So I thought when I become an entrepreneur, I will be that successful. The problem, I wasn't successful. The first 1 year was hell. First 1 year was really hard, really hell. I remember that I couldn't get the results. my confidence went down. My self-doubt was very
Where
high.
did you move to from Russia?
Turkey.
Turkey. Ah, I see.
Yeah.
So what did you start doing as an entrepreneur?
The good thing that before moving, becoming a full-time entrepreneur, when I was in Samsung, I was trying a lot of things at the same time. Like I was having my health line, like product line. I was exporting and importing things. I was always testing myself. But the time came and I said, okay, I need to finish and become an entrepreneur. So I moved to Turkey, and I was doing real estate and tourism. So when I moved and I started doing this, all the results were very bad, extremely bad. I couldn't believe myself that how I was super successful in corporate, and I couldn't be successful as an entrepreneur.
Tell me, was that a motivation for you, or did it put you down at that very moment that it's not working out? How did you feel?
I felt very bad because I remember one day I woke up in the middle of the night and I went to the bathroom and I was looking at myself in the mirror. And at that mirror, I see a person that I didn't know. Means what? I see a person who's not confident. The self-doubt was very high. Didn't know what to do because I felt lost. And I remember that time that I feel as if this person in the mirror was talking to me and telling me, Seif, go back to corporate. You were better in corporate. You were super successful in corporate. Go back to corporate. But I remember also the people that rely on me. Like I was responsible for people, for my family, for my team, that I didn't want to put them down. Like they look up to me. I inspire them. I keep them alive. And I remember that I took a vase next to me and I smashed the mirror. And that's a real story. And then when the mirror smashed, I said to myself, I don't want to see this person anymore. And I developed myself to become a proper entrepreneur, means a street smart, not a book smart. I had a lot of mentors, a lot of advisors, studied everything. And in almost a year, I flipped around the business. It became one of the top businesses in Turkey and the region. Literally 10 times the revenue, 6 times the countries where I operate, 4 times the industries where we play. And that was my journey in Turkey. And then I'm a person who gets bored. I'm a very person who really gets bored, which means once I reach a level and I understand that it's my comfort zone, I need to exit. I need to exit my comfort zone. So the time came and I said like, okay, Turkey for me, not as a business, finished business still running in Turkey, but as Seif being in Turkey finished. What is my next move? I came to Dubai.
And how many years ago was that?
2 года назад. And 2 years ago, I came to Dubai. And okay, I said, I will take my online business in general into a totally new level. Everybody told me like, Seif, you're crazy. What are you doing? You have all your businesses in Egypt, in Turkey, and even in Russia. What are you doing going to Dubai? As if starting from scratch. And I said, no, I love the scratch. Let me do it. So in 2 years time frame, it's very hard, of course.
That is very quick.
Yeah. I've become like a best-selling author. I created my online courses. I mentor and I teach in the American University in Dubai. I have my electronics brand. I have my real estate company. I have my holiday homes company. I have my trading company in Italy and Switzerland. And now I'm sitting with you.
Do you even sleep? How do you manage to find time for this?
No, I don't. I sleep seldom.
I wanted to come back to your work in Samsung. I know that now you're working with a lot of international brands, the big ones. What kind of brands are those, so that people who are watching the show will understand who is in front of them?
I worked with like literally across brands, like from electronics, I worked with Samsung, I worked with Apple, I worked with Huawei, I worked with ZTE, Riversong, Laser, real estate, I worked with like 10x Vibes, Rev, Holiday Homes as well, and Rev Real Estate, with
So these are the brands that address you for a business consultation, right?
yeah, business consultation and being a kind of ambassador as well. And currently, I'm kind of an ambassador for, I would say, a platform that is supported by the United Nations.
Let's chat regarding your strong side. At the moment, you are teaching entrepreneurs to become successful, to grow their business. I think the entrepreneurs would be very interested to see this, and if you can advise them on which qualities do they have to have, maybe some discipline, maybe some habits, or can anybody become an entrepreneur? What do you think?
Being an entrepreneur by nature requires a specific type of DNA. Everyone can be an entrepreneur, yes, but they need to develop particular skill sets in them. Being an entrepreneur is like waking up every day in the morning and you don't know if your project or your business will make it or become profitable. So it's making too much assumptions on the future. And not a lot of people are willing to take this risk, and they cannot take this risk. The second thing that I usually like to say to entrepreneurs, enough the motivation. What means by enough motivation? A lot of people I meet, I see them, they're super motivated. I will be successful, I will be successful, I will be successful. Being successful is not about jumping on the table or dancing or listening to good music that raises your mood. To be successful, you need to follow a design for success. And what I mean by a design for success, we never went to in a plane and see the pilot sitting in the pilot cabin and clapping for the plane to fly. Like, plane, please fly, plane, please fly. No, the plane is designed to fly. It has all the design to make it fly. It's like, for example, a car, like a Kia car, cannot drive at 300 kilometers per hour because it is not designed to fly. Exactly the same as business. Business has to be designed to succeed. It's a set of ecosystem, products and services that work together in a particular pattern to make it successful. So a lot of entrepreneurs are just following I would say, the motivational speeches and just hitting the wall and falling. One of the most important things also for entrepreneurs is becoming adaptable and easy to pivot. Sometimes we have ideas that, okay, you can keep going, you have to be persistent, but sometimes you need to pivot a little bit to be successful, not hit the wall and fall. So these are all kind of general tips I would give entrepreneurs, and it's all about the mindset.
It's great. You actually are finding the intersections that are missing, but there's still some more. And what do you think about women in business? Do you think that women are capable of competition with men? Is there competition with men? Should there be? Or should women in business be separate? And how do you see women in big business?
Women is a strong pillar, not in business only, but in life. So if I'm talking about life, woman is a pillar in life, as now in business, woman is strong pillar in business. Why I'm saying this? Women and men, they both have different character traits and attributes. Woman brings to the table or to the business a new set of things that a man cannot bring, which is, for example, the most important thing that is needed now. It is the emotional intelligence, the EQ. A lot of men doesn't have this at all. Women bring this. Women bring creativity. Women bring passion. So having women in business is extremely important these days with different generations that we're living with these days.
Please tell me about your club, the Alpha Club.
Yeah.
Why did you create it? What are the goals and challenges? What can everybody be accepted there, or is it just for men, or is it for Arab world only, or everybody's accepted? How does it work? Tell me.
Okay, I will go backwards a little bit because the term alpha scares people. like say like, oh my God, then alpha means like the egocentric, the controlling behavior, the selfish. These are old traits of being an alpha. The new traits of being an alpha really evolved by time. And the traits, the most important trait, besides that alpha is a man and alpha is a female, both can be alphas easily, but the important trait an alpha is, and I will tell you, alphas they lack something that everybody sitting around us have. And what is it? It is the stop button. Our stop button is broken. We cannot stop. We're super obsessed by our goals and our dreams. This is one of the main traits of being an alpha. And as I said, the alpha traits and behavior evolved over time. The alpha traits are what? The person who's responsible, taking fierce decision, being extremely persistent, is responsible, is a leader, is impactful, is supportive, is responsible for the loved ones. These are all the traits of being an alpha. The new alpha, not the egocentric and.
I just remember the song of Sia, I'm a Porsche with no brakes, remember?
Exactly, absolutely. Stop button is broken.
It's my favorite song of my husband. The stop button is just broken, and that's how we live. It's not possible to fix that.
We just keep going. And why did I create the alpha in general? Because I saw a lot of people, they're not living to their potential. They're just sitting, comparing themselves to others. They're not developing themselves to a great extent, just looking at social media, comparing and just watching. And I always saying, in order to succeed is not about consumption, it's about creation. So I created the Alpha Global or the Alpha Movement to empower entrepreneurs, individuals, to aspire them to fulfill their potential in the range of in the sections of entrepreneurship, mindset, leadership, and success mindset overall. And within the Alpha Movement, there are a couple of pillars. One of them is the online training platform. The second is the club. The third is the podcast. Which is one of the fastest growing in the region as a celebrity and influential podcast. And there is an Alpha magazine, and there is the Alpha book series. And there is an Alpha accelerator that helps entrepreneurs get their ideas into reality.
Amazing. So do you meet quite often with this club? Do you have educational programs?
Of course. I do have, like online, I have an online platform, educational platform. It's like a university. It has like over 13 courses, and I meet with them regular online. And for the offline club, we meet every 2 weeks, offline.
That's quite often. So which niche do the entrepreneurs that you... I actually liked a statement that you made, that it's not about consumption, it's about creation. In my world, many people really think about consumption. The entrepreneurs are about the yachts, the watches, and these goals are for consumption, to buy another apartment. Just tell me, do you think the same? These material things are not important at a point of time anymore, right? You want to change the world to the better. You want to really be that change.
You know, the best fulfillment for me, I would say, like as Seif, is to see the people around me happy. Okay, so it's not like doing something for myself, but doing for others. So if I go back to the consumption thing, the consumption has two factors or two areas. One of them is just to consume on luxury and stuff. But if these things helps you to achieve your goals, then do it. But if for the sake to show off, just to show off, then there is no need. You need to focus on your goals, making good in the world, and that's it. So this is one part. The second part, when I talk about the consumption, it means, you know, a lot of youngsters or entrepreneurs or motivated people just consume. I will read 100 books, I will go to 100 seminars, I will go to 100 events. And success is not about going to or reading to, is doing. You have to create. You can read one book and create everything about it. So you need to start creating rather than consuming.
It's very important what you're saying now. In Russia, in entrepreneurship, there is a race. Everybody's showing off how many coach sessions they had, how many books they've read, consumption. Yeah, it's a great thought that you're sharing. Yeah. Because creation and giving knowledge is much more important than taking. Do you believe in karmic seeds? What you're saying now is about karma. So karmic seeds, that idea, that everything is actually quite just in the world. The more you give, the more you receive. What do you think about it?
100%. The more you give, the more do you receive. And whatever bad seeds you put, you will get bad. The good seeds you put, you get good. 100%. And you know, it's for everyone. And it happened to me, it happened. Whenever you give more, you get more. So 100%, this is the karma thing. What you do comes back to you.
Let's go back to your club. I actually asked a question, then I changed the path of our conversation. Regarding your club, the entrepreneurs that you have, how do they interact between themselves? Maybe they have collaborations or something. Do the entrepreneurs get together a lot? Maybe Russian entrepreneurs will be interested to join your club. What kind of company is that?
We have, it's a very interesting format. We have like, in the club, we have investors and we have entrepreneurs, because at the end of the day, investors, which mean investors/mentors, and entrepreneurs. We meet twice per month, and we have like a Telegram channel where we interact. One of the main part of it is teaching. So in every session, there is kind of like, I would say, master class or a mastermind that happens during this gathering. And if any of the participant has ideas to pitch, they tell us before, so we plan the day by pitching the master class and having a mastermind.
Then you can take markers or pencils,
Okay.
and you connect the neighboring cells into colored shapes. Start, and I will correct you if necessary. You can do circles, you can do triangles, certain lines together, whatever you want. You are the creator, the artist. So you decide how it's going to work. It's not important that you color everything. Some parts can be white. But tell me about the books. Are there any trainings or books that really changed your life? Maybe it was a turning point in your life.
I'm a reader. I read every day, and I use it to learn, and I use it to relax. It's a stress management technique that I use to read. So I read every day in the morning, and I read every day in the evening. So the books that I would say literally changed my life, there are a lot of actually very good books. One of them is Simon Sinek, The Start With Why. It's a very great book that everything that you do, it has to have a why, not the how and not the what. That's Simon Sinek. There is another book by Daniel Priestley. It's called The Key Person of Influence, how you can be impactful and influence people around you. That's another one. Atlas Shrugged, it's a fictional case. Book is also a great one. So there are actually a lot of good books, but it depends on the period of time. Like The Alchemist was one of the great books when I started. The Secret also is one of the great books. So a lot of great books depends on the time that you're reading it. But the best book that I read is the one I wrote.
Great answer.
Yeah.
I will happily read it. Is it published in Russian or just English?
It's just got published. It's in English, and I will do it in Russian, and I will do it in Arabic as well.
Fantastic. I'll be happy to read it.
Would be
So
my
you
pleasure.
just added a book to my reading list, because I haven't read the books you've mentioned either. I will be very happy to read those
Very nice
and
ones.
find
Really very
new
nice
things
ones.
about it. Do you believe that our thoughts and our positive attitude really changes the result, really influence the amount of money that he earns, the size of the business, how he is viewed by the people and his media image, or you only have to work?
100% thoughts influence the result. We are the result of our thoughts. So that's why I always tell everyone to guard your brain, to guard your thoughts. Don't let garbage get into your brain. Always protect it. Always. Like, I'm the type of person, for example, I don't watch news on a regular basis. I just pick the news that affects me. I don't just watch. I'm not gonna say I'm a bad person or I don't care person, but I'm not interested to see an earthquake happening in an island in. Why should I have all these negative thoughts that's running into my head that puts my vibration and frequency down? So you need to really control what comes into your brain, and you need to put in your brain the things that moves you forward, motivates you, and inspires you.
Which goals motivate you? We talked regarding that some people see material goals, a car or an apartment, but at your level of development and thoughts, what is your set of goals?
You know, like, what motivates me now is completely different than what motivated me when I was 10 years younger. When I was 10 years younger, I cannot say like the materialistic things didn't motivate me. Of course it was. And I was crazy about it. I wanted the car, I wanted the house, I wanted the watch, I wanted, and I would say I was a materialistic person. But things changed, and you see the value. Like, the things that motivate me now is completely different. Like, what motivates me now is my family. What motivates me now is my beloved people. When I see them happy, successful, achieve what they want, that motivates me. And that's actually my biggest why. Like, not, I will achieve everything that I want, I'm 100% sure. But it's not to buy the materialistic things, to make the people that I care about happy. Safe, secure.
What about big goals in business? Do you have those now? I know that you have a lot of businesses, but maybe a certain business is where you have a dream or a fantastic goal.
You know, people around me will know that I was never satisfied with a goal. I can reach a goal, and in the next second, the goal becomes another one. Which in a way that I'm a non-stop. My goals are infinite. What is next? What is next? What is next? But I would say now, the main goal that I have is to have the Alpha Global or the Alpha movement on a global scale. Global scale meaning impactful, as the number that I put, at least by the end of this year, on a global level, reach 50,000 members. And it grows. And it's a different thing when you talk about a legacy that I want to leave. Because a goal is a goal, but a legacy is something. My legacy will be to always have a righteous child, of course, a child that is righteous. The second thing is to have an ongoing benefit that will benefit the people after I'm gone. The third could be knowledge will benefit the people once I'm gone. And the most important thing, because we live in an era where you can do a lot of things against your values and ethics and principles. So the main thing that I want to put on my grave, which a statement that says, "Here lies a man that no person on earth could twist his arm." And this is an Arabic statement that says, this person who lies here, nobody could let him do anything that he didn't want or force him to do anything against his values and principles.
Freedom, right?
Yeah.
That's most important for you.
Yeah. And it's hard these days because a lot of people try to do things outside of their principles and values, but that's what I want to put on my grave.
Tell me, what do you think? What should I do in the market, which is much more familiar for you, in the Middle Eastern market, to popularize neurographics, to interest people in it? I'm getting a free business consultation right now.
Yeah. Partner with the Alpha. Hello, pleasure.
Agreed.
The best thing actually to do it in this market is to do a lot of what we're doing right now to get the maximum exposure. I'll tell you why. Because this kind of technique is not well known in our region. It's not well known. So the more the people will see it, first of all, it's very interesting and very attractive, but nobody knows about it. And not a lot of people.
You know why?
Yeah.
It's a Russian method.
But it's
It's a Russian
Stoliet,
scientist.
Pavel,
You know about him, Pavel Piskarov, yes. And you know why we're here? Because I am quite interested in self-development and, work with the mind. I read a lot of books, and most coaches are international. They're from Canada, US, Australia. A lot of books came to Russia with them. And this is the only technique, super effective one, which is actually from Russia. And we can actually export it to the world. So yeah, export the Neurographics from Russia. I'm the most famous instructor for Neurographics from Russia, and it's an amazing method. So because people can try it and get results.
Super interesting, and the more the people will see it, the more the people who will want to do it. So I really encourage this kind of formats to get the most of exposure. And the second thing is you can do kind of events. Like
Yeah, that's what I want to do,
on a stage. Exactly. That will be something, because again, in our region, for me, sometimes I say to myself that I'm a nerd. I study a lot, I read a lot. But it was something new for me. And once I saw it, it became very interesting. No, I want to try it. So once people see it, they will 100% want to try it, most of the exposure.
That's really cool. Thank you so, so much. And collaboration with Alpha, absolutely. If you can invite us to some meeting of yours so we can draw together, I would love to do that. Because I do drawings with Forbes billionaires from Russia. They have created huge businesses, and they do neurographics because they understand that certain results cannot be achieved by logics and numbers. There is more to our understanding in this world, things that we cannot see. And neurographics is a very effective method for any goals and for any tasks. Thank you so much for joining me today. How do you feel, by the way?
Thank you. I'll tell you something, why it's very interesting for me, because I never enter something that I don't know the outcome. Like I never did something that I don't know the outcome. This is one of the few things that I'm doing that I'm super interested to see the outcome. I want to know what is the outcome. Very interesting for me, because the last time I hold a marker in my hand was yesterday night when I was reading and highlighting on the book. So I use markers to highlight on books.
Do you know that it was proven by science that when you use the marker for marking the books, you remember them better.
Yeah,
so
true.
That works. It's symbolism.
Yeah.
You are underlining things in the book. So you really understand things, you know. You know all the secrets.
I do that, but
that's
very
how
interesting
brains
that
work. You understand that.
I'm really looking forward to get to see what is the result of my subconscious, because I'm a strong believer of the mind of a person. The mind of the person is their own asset, is the only asset that they have.
But let's talk about other things, not entrepreneurship only. How do you deal with cryptocurrency, by the way? It's a new story for Russia. People are just starting using that with crypto wallets. Do you do that? Do you invest? How do you feel about it?
There is nothing in this world. I call myself a mad scientist. There is nothing in this world I didn't try, because I don't
you haven't
want...
tried, yeah.
Yes, because I don't like regrets, so why not to try? So yes, the crypto thing, I invest. I am certified trader because I learned how to trade, because I cannot invest if I don't understand. And I lost a lot of money, and I made a lot of money in crypto. And then at the end, I said, like, this is enough. I can't play small. So I bought shares in a company that trades in crypto with AI. This company is an Italian-Swiss company that trades in crypto using AI. So now
That's interesting.
it's a very nice market, but it's very volatile, extremely volatile, and you need to understand what you're doing, and you need to trust what you're doing, because a lot of scams at the same time.
What do you invest in?
You mean in crypto or in general?
Overall, yeah.
Вообще, okay, I'm number one fan of real estate.
Agreed, real estate, yeah.
Then real estate, number one. Number two, gold.
And real estate, which countries is that? Or do you buy only where you live?
Majority of my assets is where I live, but across, like Russia, Egypt, Turkey, Dubai, Cyprus, and
So this
different
is
countries.
real estate, is it commercial real estate or just regular?
90%, I would say even 90% residential. 90% residential. And if I'm not living in them, like kinda the places where I consider home, I do short-term rentals, like the Airbnb and this is why do I do real estate? Because maybe I have an emotional thing to it. Whenever I had crisis in my life, money crisis in my life, the only savior for me was real estate. So that's why I always invest in real estate and keep real estate and keep real estate.
Just a little thing, I'll correct you here. We have to connect certain cells with color, but as I see, this one has only one color, this one has blue, and this is purple. We are not creating a brain connection, we are separating it. This is great. These are a number of them are of the same color, but this is only one. We have to add blue here, for example, or separate this into two. It's up to you.
Отлично.
But I do like that you are using very bright colors. You have very different colors as well. It's a beautiful picture. Got you regarding the investment, but what about the gold? You mentioned gold. Is it digital gold or is it physical gold?
Physical gold. Physical gold, because it is the oldest.
First of all, it's beautiful, right?
Красиво, конечно. Да, първите, конечно. Plus, it reserves the amount of money. It's the reserve of amount. So, whatever. And again, the best thing in investment is to diversify your assets. And you diversify your assets in like, okay, high volatile, high risk, like crypto, this is one thing. And there are stable ones like the real estate and gold. That's my diversification. Plus businesses.
That's great. Do you invest in new businesses, like other people's businesses, not yours?
I do that, but in a very limited way. People will tell me why, because I can't be a passive investor. It's very hard for me to be a passive investor. I have to be an active investor. So there are businesses that I invest in, but I have to have my involvement. I can't sit aside and let it run. It's the way how I operate. So that's not the biggest bulk. It's either I get the whole company and I take over, or I just don't participate.
Tell me, do you think that Dubai and the UAE is the best hub for developing a business now? Because as I see it, entrepreneurs have every single possible chance to do so. Why did you decide to live here?
Now Dubai or the UAE, they've been developing themselves so much to be the hub. I don't want to say the hub of business, but the hub of everything. The hub of business, the hub of entrepreneurship, the hub of tourism, the hub of medical, the hub. And when we're talking about entrepreneurship, we're talking about that all the infrastructure is available, is ready. I'm a guy that he lived in many countries. It's very hard to develop businesses in different countries. Like, for example, when in Turkey, yes, you can develop a business over there, but in Dubai, they make things easier with the visas, with the infrastructure, where all the international community is here, opportunities are available, the international funding, money inflow. This all makes Dubai is a real gem and hub for entrepreneurs. That doesn't mean it's easy. Okay, it's different because it makes the competition very high. So everybody here needs to work very strong in order to be able to succeed.
And I would like to ask you, how do you recover? It's very fashionable to talk about the resources, your inner resources, how to avoid burning out, how to be fully motivated all the time. Do you have any rituals or special places where you go to recover? Maybe it's relationship that recovers you or sports?
Recovery for me is around the things that makes me go back to my inner self, which means I do sports, even if it's not a heavy sport, even if I go for a walk to breathe, to be silent. This helps me recover. The second way to help me recover is even reading. People will think that when you read, you can exhaust yourself. For me, it relaxes me down. So I do reading, I do sports. And if I want to recover completely in a different vibe, I travel in a totally new places.
What are your favorite places to go to? I love traveling as well. It's my passion. I can talk about it forever.
Oh, okay. It's different places for different reasons, but I love Bali. I love Moscow. Really love Moscow. I love Scotland. Scotland. I love Greece,
I love Greece too. And
Italy. So these are the locations. But if I want nature and sea and it's Bali.
do you recover while you're having rested, or do you keep learning even while you're on vacation?
No, I don't. I don't rest. It's rest is a part because I make there is nothing called work-life balance. It's a work-life integration, and when you love what you're doing, you don't need to get away from it. And I love what I'm
You
doing,
don't
and
need
it doesn't
rest.
make me feel I don't need to rest, and it doesn't make me feel tired, I'm totally fine.
Which advice would you give to young entrepreneurs, or maybe to yourself 15 years ago? What should they know, as you have much more experience now? You have made quite a way here.
Number one, always invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, keep learning. Maybe it's a cultural thing, but when I was back in Egypt, I never invested in myself, like in educating myself, making myself more valuable. I learned this when I was in Korea. So once I saw myself, when I invest in myself, I develop myself, I push my boundaries, I develop my career. So it's extremely valuable for people to start to develop themselves when they're young. I hate to see people, youngsters, that they're wasting their time just like, sitting on the couch, watching movies, looking at social media, only consumption, not creation. That's really a pity. The second thing, invest in your health because once you lose it, you have nothing else to do except to gain it back. Invest in yourself, in your knowledge, invest in your health, have quality time with your family. Time passes.
Let's talk about your health. What do you mean investing in your health? How do you do that?
I sports every day. I eat as much as possible proper. I will not say like I'm on an extreme diet, but I eat as much as possible in a correct way. I sports, I walk, I run, I take my vitamins. I take care of my health. I if I'm like I would say 15 years older, I will do sports in a professional way. I will join a community because we're social animals, which means when you're part of a community, you're able to perform better. So if I'm 15 years younger, I would join a sports community.
So that's like an entrepreneurship community. It helps you grow, right? Because you're part of the community.
Yes, exactly. And accountability. We are people who wants to be accountable. We want to challenge ourselves, compete with each other. When you're part of a community, your growth is much faster.
By the way, I wanted to ask you regarding competition. Do you consider that you have competitors? Do they motivate you, or you think that you are your own competition? How do you feel about competition in business?
Okay, there is a statement that nobody likes to hear from me. They should worry about it, not me. Literally, I don't think it from that direction. My competitors, if they exist, they're the ones should worry, not me. My main objective is to beat myself every single day. in literal way. I beat myself every single day. So yes, does it mean that I don't look at the competition? Yes, I look at the competition. Just for this, like being aware of what's happening around me. But to strategize, be worried, I always say that my work ethics is unbeatable. So that's why I'm saying they are the ones who have to worry.
I really think the same. If you are competing with yourself, you're becoming better every day, there is no time to lose. Watching other people copy somebody, you just go and to achieve your goal.
100%. And the people, your competition are the one to worry, not you at all. They're the one like, oh my God, what they're doing, let's do the same. And you see the copiers. Once you see like they're copying you. And once people are copying you, you are ahead of them because they're below you.
Agree with every word.
Так, мы почти закончили. Нам нужно сделать.
We are almost done. You have a big marker there. You have to make a line, a big, thick line, which grows up. This line will show where our mind is going. This is the line of the field in neurographics, but you have to color this white one. Just like in the graph of currency, trade, you know, so it has to go up. This is your intention line. Take this marker, the thick one, and it has to be rounded with the lines it intersects. Maybe it's a new line, maybe it's the line that exists, but it has to go from bottom up.
Okay.
Bottom up. And it has to be soft. It's not a straight line, a neurographic line, a soft one, just like this.
It's a soft one.
It's a line that helps us. It's an inner help. Great. So all the lines that you've drawn before. And one more thing, let's make it a little bit thicker. And also, please define your triangle better. This is the shape that is the fixation for our mind. We want growth, and triangle is the symbol of growth. We will make it thicker. Quite a unique drawing, honestly. The line of the field intersects with the line of the triangle. It's so unique. Yeah, go ahead. That's your drawing. The only thing is, I would like you to round those corners. And this line, as it is the basic line for the triangle, please make it more visible as well. But this is an abstract drawing, so you're a modern painter today. Maybe you will sell it for millions of dollars someday.
I love it.
It's so beautiful. All right, we are almost done. Would you like to tell our viewers something, maybe some wishes? And what do you think about the experience that you've had? What do you feel about it?
You know, Nastya, it's a very interesting experience because, number one, I didn't feel that I'm drawing while I'm speaking. It's very interesting because if I'm alone drawing, I will be just sitting drawing. I don't want to focus on something else. But while I'm speaking with you, I feel that I'm speaking, saying something that requires my brains to work, but at the same time drawing and enjoying the process. The interesting thing with it as well, I didn't feel tired. Like I can go ahead and continue. So the experience is amazing. I loved my drawing.
That's true, it's very beautiful.
I liked my drawing.
This is mine, I would like to show it to you.
I liked my drawing. And I really love it.
It would be cool if you were to put it somewhere in your apartment, somewhere visible place. It will be a symbol to remind you about your goal, the 50,000 that you mentioned. Even if you don't pay attention to it, you just see it every time you're passing by, and it will subconsciously remind you of that, and you will be reaching that goal faster.
The question here, like this drawing, is kind of reflection of this. Am I correct?
Of course.
Конечно,
Can you,
конечно.
so if I put this, all my neurons in my head,
Exactly.
Done.
Я тебе еще
I would
посоветую
also like to advise you to write a date in the back because you will be able to compare how much time will it takes you to reach that goal. When I just started my blog, I had a goal to reach a certain financial goal. And I asked my audience, how many drawings will it take me to do? And so for a certain amount, it took 10 drawings. For a certain amount, it took 15. So it's like a gym. You go and you think, okay, it's 50 sets, 30 sets, and you see the progress. So please put down the date. And when it happens, you will be able to compare whether it was easy for you, and you will see if the drawing helped you. So if it does work, you will be really motivated to draw again, and you will be able to find out whether it's just a coincidence.
Спасибо большое. It's really an amazing experience, and I will put it next to me in my office, and I'm sure we'll get this. And once I get this number, I will let you know. So we will put together
great idea.
another goal. We draw another goal. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so
Спасибо
much.
большое.
Thank you.
Спасибо
It was a
большое.
pleasure.
Спасибо большое.